Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life. We won't live in the past.
It's time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last podcast, which is all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly, and this time around, we're unpacking what is the number one most important question a leader should ask themselves or their team daily. And to do that, to unpack that with us is Scott Carley. He's a change energizer, keynote speaker, a business coach. Welcome.
Thank you. It's really great to be here today. It's good to be with you.
All right. So before we get to what we will ask the leader, let's start with the team. Or is it the same question? Is it the same question for both, or are they different questions?
Well, let's ask the leader. Let's talk about the leader.
All right. Okay. All right. So what's the number one most important question?
So the leader, what's the most important question that he should ask the team or ask of himself?
That's what I'm saying. Are we going to do it separately, or are we going to do it together? So
let's ask the leader about.
All right. Good.
About the leader.
Okay.
So I think the first thing every leader needs to ask himself is, where am I going? What is my big, scary, audacious goal that I'm trying to get across the finish line? And let's take a look at that. I need to drill down a little bit. I need to answer some questions. I need to think this through. Where are we going? So let me just give you this is really crazy. People spend more time planning a vacation than they do their business. So let's just say the leader's trying to figure out a place to go. Well, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to the Eiffel Tower in business. He's got a destination. So if you were going to the Eiffel Tower, you were taking your family there, well, what are some things that you would need to think about? Well, I guess we would need airplane tickets. Yeah, you'd need airplane tickets. So that now we need to know when you're going to leave and when you're going to come back. Oh yeah, we need to get a date for this vacation, don't we? Oh, we need to set the dates. And so we're traveling overseas. I might need a passport. Does everybody in my family have a passport? Uh-oh, we got a couple that don't have. Yours is expired. Well, we've got to get that passport. All right, well, we'll work on that. That's a checklist. How much is this going to cost? Do we have a budget for this? What does it cost to fly over to Paris and go to the Eiffel Tower? Yeah, we need a budget, don't we? And then when we get over there, what are we going to do? We're just going to land at the airport, stand around and can't see the Eiffel Tower from here. So probably we need to rent a car. We need to drive over. We need to get a hotel. We need to figure out what restaurants we're going to stay at. And then if we're going to the Eiffel Tower, maybe there's other stuff we're going to do while we're there. Here's my point, Noreen. The leader needs to ask himself, what does the destination really look like? And what's it going to take to get us there? What are the different areas I'm going to need to get us to our destination? So that means he's going to need to talk to a travel agent. He's going to need to talk to a passport person. He's going to need to talk to a banker who can release funds overseas when he gets there. He's going to need to talk to a tourist agent. He's going to need to rent a car. So now he's discovering all the team players he or she is going to need to get this big, scary, audacious vacation across the finish line. So the leader questions he needs to ask is, where are we going? Because if the leader doesn't know where we're going and what road we're taking and when to spend money and what to spend it on or not, we're all in trouble. Nobody can do anything. So that's the first thing a leader has to know. Have a vision, have a plan. Where are we going? And when do we plan to get there?
All right. So Is it the leader alone that will determine the direction, or should it be a corporate effort?
I think it's really important that the leader's job is to figure out where we're going. What is the big, scary, audacious goal that we're going after? Are we going to open new locations in different cities? Are we going overseas? Are we going to double our production? It's a leader's job to define the final destination, where we're headed. But once he does, or once she does, then she needs to look at the team and say, now, how are we going to get there? Because it's going to take all of us to make this happen. And if we use that Eiffel Tower illustration, who's going to get the plane tickets? Who's going to be in charge of getting the plane tickets? All right, who's going to be in charge of finding the hotels? All right, who's going to be in charge of the passports? And each one of those has a very different thing that they're supposed to do. And so he puts the team together and gets their buy-in, make sure that they want to go to Paris, France and see the Eiffel Tower, or that they want to help open new locations or expand products overseas. But then he's going, or she is going to delegate to them, to the team, specific areas that they're gifted in so that they can use their expertise there. That's when it becomes a team project.
Okay. What if, as a leader, you've in your mind, you've shared the vision and you've assigned what you think would be appropriate for each team member based on personality, based on strengths and all of that. But somewhere along the line, you get the impression that some people are not helping to execute that vision. What then?
That's so common everywhere. Somebody said one time, and this is really good, you don't get what you expect, you get what you inspect. So a leader may assign different tasks and responsibilities, but it's his job, it's her job along the way to ask, how's it going? So every Monday, I coached an organization in a large metropolis here in Texas. And every Monday we'd get on a call and I would go to each division leader on that call. And I would say, okay, tell me what you did last week. All right. You did this. You had 4 things you were supposed to do. Did you get them all done? Oh, you didn't get one of them done. Why not? There was an issue. All right. Have you figured out how you're going to fix that issue? You have. Good. All right. What are you going to do this week? Oh, you've got 5 things you're going to do this week. All right, great. Do you know how to do them? Are you good on all of that? Oh, you've got a question about one of them. What's your question? Okay, well, let's process that right now. Tim, what do you think we should do about that? Mike, Lisa?
I'm here having this conversation with Scott Carley, but we must take a break and get a word from our partners. We'll be right back.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life. We won't live in the past, we're making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever.
Langdo Language Institute was created to meet your language and communication needs. All of our packages were created just for you. We are passionate about language and dedicated to your success. We offer the CSEC English program, the Study Buddy program, the Get Ahead with English program, and the Business Communication program. Contact us at 767-285-0938 or email us at langdolanguage@gmail.com. Because the real question is, how can we help you?
You can't live your best life without a healthy immune system. Boost your immune system the delicious way with Zappy's organic juices and punches. Made from local produce with 0 added sugar, Our juices cleanse and revitalize your body as they boost your natural immunity. Try our delicious flavors: Beat It, Berry Bomb, Get Fresh, Ton Up, and Island Splash. Find us on Instagram at Zappies Organics, or call or send a WhatsApp message at 1-876-779-8910 to order today. That's 1-876-779-8910. Zappies Organic Juices and Punches. Live your best life today.
I recently have been coached by the great Miss Noreen Daly. I own a video company. I'm also an online influencer. So I do a lot of speaking virtually and in person. She was able to point out some of my weaknesses that I didn't yet notice. And I 100% recommend Miss Noreen Daly as your coach.
Noreen Daly, redefining the way you communicate.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life. We won't live in the past. We're making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever.
Welcome back. Let's continue the conversation.
When you meet with the team, you just have to ask the team, are they doing what they said they would do last week? And if they aren't, it's usually because they've hit an issue. There's an obstacle, there's a problem. And it's the leader's job and the team's job to embrace those obstacles and work through them. And that's how it happens. You know, big, scary, audacious dreams come as a package deal with big, scary, audacious obstacles. And that's the challenge. The challenge is to work through those obstacles, find key people who are smarter than we are in dealing with those things, and push through.
Here, what is interesting for me, though, Scott, is that what you just said, because I believe it's during COVID I started doing it, and now that we're well, I don't know if it's fully behind us, the pandemic, but I actually have weekly check-in with my core team members. No, they've never said this, but I know that in other spaces, people might almost think as if you're micromanaging when it is that you actually want to check in. So how do you help to educate people that this is not me micromanaging? This is just me trying to, as you're saying, just checking in to see how it's going. Is there an obstacle that maybe I can assist with? How?
So that's a pretty common problem. There are some leaders who have a tendency to be helicopter bosses, and they micromanage, and they don't give people the liberty and freedom to act on their own and hit deadlines. And so sometimes people have to, number one, earn the trust of that leader. Okay. I'm going to get it done. If you will just let me, I'm working on it. Here are my deadlines. Stephen Covey said in the book, Speed of Trust, which is a great book.
What's the name of the book?
The name is the name of the book is called The Speed of Trust.
That sounds interesting.
Covey.
Okay.
And he said in it, he said, when trust is high, the speed of business is fast. But when trust is low, the speed of business is slow.
Wow.
Really powerful statement. And so what happened is we have a trust credit score. And when we accomplish what we said we were going to do, people trust us. When we don't accomplish what we said we would do, people don't have as much trust. And so it's a two-way street. The leader needs to have trust in his people that they will do what they said that they would do. And to check in with them once a week is not a problem. every day,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the type of work, is too much. Again, depending on the type of work. So I had a person that worked for me, had two people that worked for me. And the first one, I gave them some responsibilities, outlined what I expected out of them, and gave them the resources that they need, and they took off with it. I was very happy about it. I did the same thing with another person, and they, big smile. I'm on it, boss. That was their exact words. I'm on it, boss. But yet I could see they weren't on it. And so I checked in with them a few days later. I gave them a few days, and I asked, well, how's it going? Well, I'm going to work on that next week, and I'm going to get after it. And so I said, okay, well, let's, is there a problem? No, I just, I'll have to wait till next week. And so next week came along, and we had our meeting. They didn't show up for the meeting. And then I emailed them and said, well, do you have access to everything that you need? Is this all going to work out? Didn't hear from them. And so finally, I got back in touch with them, and I said, it looks to me like you're not a fit for what I'm trying to do. And they were relieved, because they weren't a fit at all. And that was the thing to do, is to let them go. Sometimes if people aren't getting things done, it's because they're not fit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And they're trying to do left-handed work with their right hand. And if that's the case, you need to put a left-handed person in there instead of a right-handed person. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
So it's accountability. Yeah, but there are bosses who are micromanagers.
Okay.
And as a coach, I spot that, then I work with them. Okay, you're going to have to trust your people more. You're not trusting. You're sending the message that you don't trust them. And if you send them the message that you don't trust them because you're hovering all the time, they'll never be trustworthy. So you're going to have to back off a little bit. And then if they don't work out, then you've discovered they weren't a fit, and it's time to put somebody else in that place.
Yeah. As we're wrapping up, I'm going to ask it differently. So you told us what that question is as a leader or even as a team, to say on a daily basis, where am I going? Now, this is my question to you as we're wrapping up. Why should that question even be asked daily?
Because it's easy for people to get sidetracked. Okay. They get sidetracked on busy work. Oh, there's a problem over here. Well, there's a problem over here because they just didn't order from the right people. And there's a lot of other things that they should be doing. If I were running this, I would do this, that. And now, boy, they're just way over here. And so the leader has to say, okay, let's come back. We've got a project. We need to have that project out in 90 days. And this is a project. So what did you do today to move the project down the field? And that's just the job of the leader. The job of the leader is to keep it very clear. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. And we can't let other things drift our attention away from where we need to go.
Thank you so much for sharing, Scott. It was an absolute pleasure.
Hey, it was a pleasure being with you too, Noreen. You're great.
Thank you. This was Make It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life.